Here we go with our first set of video notes for our Biology 1 class. I'm calling these notes Principles of Biology. We'll be discussing, obviously, principles of biology, so some of the elements of nature of science, so what does it mean to be a scientist and how does science work. Talk about some of the scientific method and how the scientific method works. And finally, we'll just get into a little bit about what biology is in a general sense. Remember, you're going to be taking notes with me as you go. If you're not sure what page in your notebook to be doing this on, you can check on the video description. You can also look on the website. It'll say what page you'll be using there as well. Don't forget to set up Cornell Notes on that note page, and each of the headings of each slide should be your key term that you write in the left-hand column. So to start off with, the nature of science. So what does it mean to do science? What does it mean to be a scientist? What are some of the elements of all science or problems that all scientists need to deal with? These are some things we'll be discussing now. So again, remember this right here is going to be your key term on the left-hand side. Feel free to pause at any point if you need to catch up or write something down. So, first major thing about science, at least the major thing that I focus on, is we're never 100% sure about anything. We never know we are correct. We can be pretty confident. We can be like 95% confident. We never know for sure that we're correct. And how can you never know you're correct? You know, you do a math problem and you feel like you know that you're correct. Well, in science, everything we do is affected by bias, right? Bias is how our life experiences affect our interpretations, right? So maybe being somebody from Dallas, you might see as what you do on the weekend as being something totally different from what somebody from New York City would see as being something you do on the weekend. That's your life experiences affecting how you interpret what a weekend should be like. The story is always changing because new evidence is always being found. Think how fast technology is changing. As we get more technology, scientists can do more stuff, right? Charles Darwin would have loved to know the human genome way back when he did his work, but he didn't know that. Now we have the entire map of all of our genes, all of our DNA is all mapped. So that's a huge leap forward. We can use that for making more discoveries. So as we make more discoveries, we might change what we thought was true before because we learned something new. And finally, as a result of never knowing we're correct, we always say that our hypotheses, what we do in an experiment, are supported. Okay? We never prove them because, to me, prove means we're 100% sure. Right? So we could do an experiment and we could gather lots of evidence in support of our hypothesis, and we could be pretty confident that our hypothesis is correct, but we can never prove that it's correct. It still could be something that we didn't see, something we don't know about yet. And the last thing is a theory. Is a little bit different from the way we use the word theory in everyday life. In science, a theory is a scientist's best possible explanation. Right? It's extremely well supported. Right? Like the theory of relativity or theory of evolution. They have lots and lots and lots and lots of evidence behind them. One person doesn't just come up with something and say, I have a theory that X, Y, or Z. A theory is something that's been maybe come up with somebody originally as their hypothesis, but then other scientists have researched that thoroughly and gathered lots and lots and lots of support for that. Okay, so moving on, you can pause here again if you need to catch up with anything, but we're going to move to the next slide.